It's an eco bank. Looks good, nice card. Now let's look at the background. 24 big banks have provided 27 billion for new oil and gas projects, even though they've all pledged to go net zero by 2050. So Tread's positioning themselves kind of investing in kind of eco and green and planting trees. Customers don't want to wait 28 years for a greener bank. Over half of adults in the UK say they'd switch now. Meet Tread, we're building the UK's leading green neobank. So far, we've partnered with MasterCard, become the only fintech in the UK to be both B Corp and 1% for the planet certified. We've got 30,000 people join the community. They've won Green Fintech of the Year at the UK Finance Awards, and they're fully registered with UK FCA. Featured in a range of financial publications. What do they offer? Basically, having a debit card that helps you be greener. So when you spend money, it plants trees. Imagine getting suggestions for shops that are better for the planet than the ones you already use. So they'll do some due diligence and maybe add it to a back-end system that has a recommendation engine potentially. Now imagine opening that account in less than 5 minutes from your phone. So typical kind of fast-moving fintech combined with an eco mindset, which sounds interesting. Turn your money green. Every time you tap your debit card, a bit of your money goes towards reforestation projects. And it's got all the standard kind of fintech offers as well. Freezing your card instantly, getting notifications about when you spend, etc. It also tracks your impact for the planet. See the environmental impact. So you can see here carbon impact, and you can exclude this transaction from your carbon footprint calculation. I'm not quite sure why you want to exclude it, but maybe you want to track things. For example, if you've got a mortgage with one of the big banks, maybe you want to exclude that because you've got a mortgage with a big bank and that's all you can do. So maybe that's one of the options. If we look at the screen on the right-hand side, your carbon footprint for July 2021 is 640 kilograms. So you can see it's equivalent to 1.5 hours on oil consumed or 1,600 miles in a car. That's good that it breaks it down. And basically, this app is pitching themselves to reduce the carbon emissions by donating and giving you, I guess, other partners, and they're saying 70 partners, to get a greener bill. So, for example, greener phone bill or energy provider. And they've got some things here, Planet Organic, which I shop at or have shopped at, the Cheeky Panda. Offset the rest and go carbon neutral. So opt in to some of our monthly offsetting plans to ensure every transaction you make is offset, whether you had an eco month or flown to see your family. We'll make sure you're offsetting the right amount, which I think really aligns with millennials here. I think this messaging, I think this product positioning is really big for younger people, probably 18 to 45, I'd say. Customize your monthly caps. You don't get any nasty surprises, or multiply your offset to go beyond carbon neutral and make a positive impact. Not quite sure about multiplying your carbon neutral footprint or offset. I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, I think that's kind of intriguing, and I think people will be interested potentially to download the app and start using it just to learn more about this, because it does sound very interesting. Yeah. Revenue comes from people reducing their environmental impact. Spending on the card, they earn a revenue via the interchange fee, which is like FX or transaction fees. And then they plant trees as well because they donate some of it. They earn commission from their greener brand partners, which is fantastic. And they earn commission when people opt in to go carbon neutral. I think that has a little bit of a friction point that if people would find out that they earn money off the offsetting of that footprint, there might be some friction there with customer experience and maybe some. But overall, I think the overall kind of package they're offering is very different from any other fintech. It's great, almost first mover advantage. They can be the first green fintech, and they can be innovating, and they have that advantage over other fintechs and banks and neobanks that aren't really focused too much on kind of offsetting carbon emissions and planting trees. Tapping into a large and growing market, neobanking market is it's growing. I'm not going to go too much into this. People know that fintechs are growing, so that's not a problem. But I can look at the statistics on the side that 27% of early adopters already using a mobile bank. That includes myself. 6% of people will swap if there's a greener option. I might consider that. 81% of adults in the UK, 54 million, think climate change needs an urgent response. Market leading climate tech and built our own banking infrastructure. Now, I have a fintech background here, so looks like they've got some of it. Like this climate tech is probably their own. They got a marketplace that's their own. It looks like, and they've got some climate data from a university. Some of the other stuff, price indexing from the BOE, the Bank of England. The other stuff is just kind of open banking. So they're using Fiserv payment as payment processor. One of the competitors to a company I used to work for called Finastra. They might want to consider actually looking at Finastra because they do a cool partnership program, which I used to run. And fintechs can get listed on that platform and gain a lot more customers. I think it's mostly for the US and Canada. But anyway, they're not a small company, Finastra. They're the second largest in the world after Alibaba, which is classed as a fintech. I'm not quite sure why. I suppose they've got some fintech products. But anyway, they've got cool things here. KYC provider, which is know your customer. It's AML stuff. And they're using Plaid for their open banking tech stack. And they can issue cards as well. And they've partnered with MasterCard. This is their development stack. AWS is very scalable, allows them to scale and allow it to be kind of cost effective. Mongo, I think, is some kind of development platform. I'm not 100% familiar with it. I've heard of it. Here's some of the recommendations. It sounds like a lot of people. They've all got 1,000 customers and they've got a waiting list of 30,000, which I think is good. Yeah, I'll be using my card as my everyday spend card. So people might be more motivated to, that's from Lewis at the bottom right, they might be more motivated to spend more because they feel good about spending on this card versus other cards. And I think that's really interesting in terms of positioning, and it's obviously going to help their business as well. They're featured in some PR, Evening Standard, BBC Radio, Insider. I'm not going to read this. Go-to-market strategy stands out from the crowds. They've got the Spin the Wheel prize giveaway. They've broken a Guinness World Record. It does look pretty cool and interesting. Yeah. They've planted 18,000 trees. They've got more innovative features coming on Android, linking other cards. That's interesting because it might encourage people to learn a bit more about the carbon footprint across all of their spending habits, all in that app, all in Tread. Get better eco insights, modifying carbon footprint based on your habits. Even if you're a veggie, if you're a vegan, get more personalized tips and track the positive impact you're making as an individual. I think a lot of people will be interested in this. They've got long-term ambitions. They want to expand beyond daily spending, whether he's buying a house or saving for a holiday. I'm sure they could do that because I think there would be green or kind of eco-friendly banks and mortgage providers, which maybe don't have a lot of traction in the market. But if they partner with someone like Treads, everybody wins. They want to go global. They want to launch B2B. Okay. They've got a team. It's good. They've got 2 co-founders, Peter and Will. They've got someone in brand and marketing, Eleanor. They've got someone in tech, Chris. Claire's in compliance and fintech, compliance and fin crime, sorry. Andy's in product and David runs commercial. So that sounds good. Last year launched first crowd fund with 1,000 investors. They hit it within 90 minutes. That's good. And they were oversubscribed within just 10 days. That's just the start of the journey. Raising for the next stage. They want to onboard more customers. They want to launch and perfect more banking and climate tech features. Then I'll continue to build a better team, or a bigger team rather, and cement their position as the UK's leading green neobank. Invest now to join our journey, and this is on Crowdcube. I think they've got some more information. I wonder if they've got any on financials. Here we go. So the current year, January to December, I think this is still a forecast. They're forecasting 1.1 net income It's a little bit confusing having net income and could be total income, not really net, because I would look at net profit as net earnings or net profit. But anyway, they're earning. Let's just look at earning or gross income, total gross income. Let's look at this net income line, and I'll call it total gross income. It's going up. They're forecasting it to go from 1 to 3, then from 3 to 14, 14 to 44. Looks like they're going to be spending more. Obviously, marketing is going to cost them money. That's what I specialize in. After I worked at Finastra, I got a role at NatWest, just short term, and then now work for WhatsApp for Meta. So I know my marketing inside out, and it looks like their marketing spend is going to go up after this raise. Looks like they're going to be spending nearly 2.5 million on marketing, then 4 million, then 11 million. And their EBITDA is going to be negative for the next 3 years. But I suppose if they're acquiring users, it'd be interesting to see. Like, I'm surprised they didn't put like user figures in here, like how many users they're going to have in 3 years. And it's not unexpected that a fintech or that a growth startup is going to be unprofitable, because they're going to be, look at the revenue line going from 200,000 this year and they expect it to go to 43 million. They're going to grow and they're going to get much better. Like, if they go global and they add more products and services, they will generate income. They could even have like a green wealth arm. I know that Moneybox, which is one of my first investments on this platform on Crowdcube, like that has brought in kind of wealth services, and you can make money from wealth, obviously. And I think they could be quite well positioned for that. I know there's some green wealth platforms like Climate, I think, is one of them. They might be able to sync up with different providers and whatnot. I'm going to give my opinion now. Actually, before I do that, let's just have a quick look at the rest of where they're at. So they're valued at 18 mil, which I think is fairly high, considering that's just my opinion. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. All of this is my opinion. But 18 mil, and they're only going to earn 200k of revenue this year. So it's kind of pretty forward-looking statement of valuation. They're looking to raise 4%, target of 600. They've raised 784 from over 1,000 investors, and they've got 6 days left. Let's just have a quick look at if there's anyone pumping any large amounts in. 784. The largest investment was 317. So that could be. It's. I think this platform should probably indicate what kind of investment that comes from. Is it from a fund? Is it from a large angel? Is it internal? Is it from a friend of someone internally? Is it, what kind of investment is that? And that's not a dig at Tread, actually. I think Tread have got a fantastic product. It looks like a good service, and I think they're probably going to do quite well. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and give my overall thoughts. So yeah, I think that 1 second, let's just see if I can tweak this a little bit. You probably don't want to see. I wonder if this will work. I'm trying to blur my background. I'm not sure it's going to work. But anyway, back to Treads. They will need to do marketing very well. They'll need to acquire customers in a low cost manner, and growth marketing will be very important for them, like for many of these startups. But because they're B2C, it's going to be particularly important for them to onboard a lot of people. I think they will have all sorts of different ideas for that, and that's going to be the crux of it. If they can both onboard new customers and retain those customers. But overall, I think that the segment is growing. The interest is growing, and you never know. That I don't know if it'll be Treads, but is this the future of banking? I think it probably could be. It could be almost like the Tesla, because Tesla brought in electric cars, and now most companies are providing electric cars. So maybe Tread are the trendsetter and the first mover, and maybe other banks start to add this feature in later on. But hopefully they can acquire a lot of customers and be the shining light, and kind of everyone knows that Tesla brought in the electric cars, or most people know, and most people know that Tesla's the gold standard. It would be good if Tread could execute so well that they become the gold standard for green banking, and that it kind of lasts, and that will give them a lot of clout internationally. So yeah, in my opinion, I think they've got the chance to do that. It's still very early. They're pre profit, but I wouldn't. It's very early, but there's so much interest in this, and I think that they've got a good chance of doing it. I think maybe in a follow-up video, if there's interest in this video, I might go a bit deeper. I might think about comparing them to other fintechs. Obviously, my background before working at Meta was working in fintech for different fintechs, doing their go-to-market strategies and customer acquisition. So I know this like the back of my hand. But if there's interest from investors or potential investors or people in the wider YouTube community that would like me to look at this in more depth, then definitely let me know in the comments. Indeed, if you've got any kind of questions or queries or thoughts, opinions that you have on trades or green banking or fintech or the future of banking, then let me know in the comments. And if you like these videos, make sure to smash the like button and consider subscribing, because I'm doing lots of videos analyzing just my opinion-based analysis, but you can see I probably use a logical approach and apply my work experience that I think is practical and pragmatic for this kind of opinion-based analysis. If you like the way I do things, consider subscribing. Check out my other videos as well. And if you're looking to beat inflation, investing is one of the ways that is likely to beat inflation over the next 5, 10 years, etc. Guys, remember that knowledge is power, especially with the right kind of knowledge, and progress is everything. I'll see you guys in the next upcoming video.